Tonjiru, Japanese pork soup with vegetables. Tonjiru or pork soup is a healthy, delicious, and easy to make soup which can also be served as a main dish. The more vegetables you use, the more variety of flavors your soup will have, which makes it a very exciting dish. I've used plenty of vegetables for this recipe to show you the common vegetables that are used to make tonjiru in Japan. You don't have to use everything and just pick up the vegetables that you might already have. Peel the daikon radish, then slice it to about a centimeter thick. Stack up the round pieces, then slice it further into quarters, forming a somewhat large pie shape. Slice the lotus root thinly, then gather the round pieces, then cut it further into 4. If using a fresh lotus root, soak it in water after cutting to prevent it from browning. Wash the burdock root or gobo, then slice it thinly diagonally. You might want to peel the skin or scrape it with the non-sharp side of a knife if you don't want the somewhat earthy taste of gobo to dominate the taste of the soup. After slicing, you can soak it in water with the lotus root to prevent it from browning. Remove the roots of the scallions, then cut it in half to separate the green part from the white part. Slice the white part of the scallions thinly diagonally. You can use the green part of the scallions as garnish for the soup later. Now let's prepare the ingredients that require more than slicing or cutting. Start by soaking the dried shiitake mushrooms in water for about 20 minutes to rehydrate. Once rehydrated, squeeze out the water from the mushrooms, then cut and discard the hard stem. Slice the head part thinly. Bring water in a pot to a boil, then once it boils, drop the baby taro roots or sato imo, then let it boil until its surface becomes soft or for about 5 minutes. Afterwards, take the sato imo from the boiling water, then put it in a bowl with cold water. Now, you should be able to peel the sato imo by pulling and sliding its peel using your hands. After peeling, cut in half, then cut it further into semicircles. The process of pre-boiling serves 2 purposes. 1, it removes its slimy texture and thus makes it easier to peel. And the second one is that the cooking time later on will be much shorter when you cook it with the other vegetables. Wash and peel the carrot, then cut in half along its length. Slice it thinly into semicircles. Carrot is a key ingredient of tonjiru to make it look more presentable as it gives color to the soup. All the other vegetables will turn brown after cooking except for the carrot. But of course, we know that carrot is not only used to make the soup look good, but it also contains healthy nutrients such as beta-carotene. Place the konnyaku or devil's tongue fruit jelly and aburaage or deep-fried tofu skin on a strainer. Pour a generous amount of water on both sides of the ingredients to remove the excess oil from the aburaage and to help lessen the nasty smell of the konnyaku. Afterwards, slice the aburaage into thin strips while slice the konnyaku into thin squares with sides of about 3 centimeters. Heat a large pot using medium heat, then add half a tablespoon of vegetable oil. Add the meat, then cook until it is no longer reddish in color. I've used beef, but usually pork is used to make tonjiro. The ton in tonjiro means pork in Japanese. I've used the thinly sliced meat of beef scraps, which is not only cheaper but has a richer taste. Once the meat is cooked, add the vegetables one by one. Start with the hard vegetables. Add the daikon, then mix. Strain the lotus root and gobo, then add it in the pot, then mix. Add the scallions, followed by satay imo, then mix. Add the shiitake, carrot, aburaage, and konnyaku, then mix all the ingredients well. Pour 5 cups of dashi stock. For the dashi, I've used 2 teaspoons of powdered dashi and dissolved it in 5 cups of water. If you have time to prepare, you can make the dashi stock from scratch easily. Cover the pot, then bring the soup to a boil. Once it boils, lower the heat, then simmer until all the vegetables are soft, which takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Particularly check the hard vegetables like the lotus root, gobo, and daikon before you decide that the vegetables are done. You might need to cook more depending on the amount of vegetables you use. Once your vegetables are cooked, lower the heat, then add the miso paste. To ensure that the miso will be dissolved well, you can put it on a strainer, then use a spatula to mix it continuously until it dissolves completely. Mix the soup well until the miso incorporates the taste to the soup. It is important to remember at this point not to let the soup boil after you've added the miso. The miso will lose its taste if you let the soup reboil after you've added it. Keep the heat at low while you add the miso, then turn it off just before it starts to reboil. Serve the tonjiro in individual bowls, and you can optionally garnish it with the chopped green part of the scallions. Enjoy this healthy and delicious soup while it's hot.